So I have a trivia question for the both of you. What does a black sports superstar, a family movie, imaginary characters all owned by a mega conglomerate, and its nice movie to watch with snacks in your hand have in common?
Is this movie Space Jam?
I have no idea.
If you answered Kazam, you are right.
God damn it.
Food has always played a part in entertainment, from movies to TV and even to the world of sports. But what really gets served at sports arenas? And what do athletes eat? Why are cups of beers $10 at arenas? I bet Kazam could answer those questions, because he has the 3 wishes. And you know what? Join us as we attempt to answer these questions for Kazam on this exciting episode of The Sweet Life of Snack and Foodie. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Hugo Chan. I couldn't get NBA Hall of Famer Muggsy Bogues today to join us, but I got someone even better, Anik Parmar.
That is not accurate.
Sounds accurate.
As well as future NHL first draft prospect with 499 goals to his name, Michael Willis. Unfortunately, he had to leave the draft because his hip bone was connected to the leg bone instead of the thigh bone for some reason. Thank you both for joining me. As the world crumbles without sports and seeing how we're all experts in all things sports, I decided, you know what, let's talk about food instead while we wait for sports. Then you both said, why don't we just talk about food and sports culture? You know what, that's a better idea. As all of us have watched sports all the time, and I do mean all of us, media has portrayed most athletes as idols, something to strive towards. Hard work, obedience, who works fast-paced, all qualities from Mulan. But what hidden aspects of the athletes are the food they eat? Is it what the average person eats? Is it whatever is curated for them by the sports trainer? Or is it the glorified form of what media has portrayed them in eating? Or does it really not matter? So this is the topic I've been wanting to talk about is because is what athletes eat different than what the average person eats?
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely, I think so, yeah.
if there was a story that came out a little while ago that talked about LeBron James and how he spends, I think it was like $5 million. I might be misquoting the number, but it was like $5 million a year on his personal training and nutrition and dietitian and everything. Because their body's basically their livelihood, right? So as long as they can keep themselves active and healthy and prolong their career as long as they can. So I definitely don't think they eat the same things we do.
But like really, if let's say LeBron James eats let's say grilled chicken for some reason, is his grilled chicken like a golden chicken compared to our chicken? And it's like, so if we were to eat the exact same thing that LeBron James eats, will we have the exact same physical aspect and will we have the exact same physical abilities as LeBron James?
Well, one thing is, like, what you eat is probably half of your physicality, right? Like, the other half is, like, how you work out. So, you'd be, 50% of LeBron.
Okay.
But something I hear about in, like, the NHL a lot is, like, when you're going from being, like, a minor league player to, like, an NHL player, probably in every league, they talk about, like, quote, being a professional, and part of being a professional is, like, eating the right things at the right times in the right amounts. So I guess that's the big difference.
So what would be the right things? Is just, like, no junk food, or is it, like, a balanced amount of meat and veggies, or do they discount the meat because they have fat or something? Or
Mike, do you remember what? Sorry, this is a sidebar, but Mike, do you remember a guy on the Leafs named Kyle Wellwood?
Yes.
And he used to play, I think he was Matt Sundin's left winger.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just showed up one year out of shape, and then he was basically cut from the team after. To your point, because
I mean, the only reason Phil Kessel is he scores goals, but like isn't he supposed to have a really bad diet? Wasn't that his biggest critique?
I think the media overblew it, but yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, back to Hugo's point. What was your question again?
Remember, question, but it's like
I think it was like, what do they eat?
like
right?
what's considered right? Like what's considered like a right meal or right food compared to
Well, a
them?
big one for sports is like pre-game, you want a lot of carbs. So I think like the biggest one is pasta and chicken.
Okay, so
Pre-game though, because
okay.
it gives you energy.
Okay, but clearly in the office that didn't work for my groups.
Well, they only eat that like on a game day before the game. You have to eat it like 4 hours ahead of time to be able to have like give your body enough time to like digest everything. But I know like.
But wouldn't an athlete's body be much more active, so it would take a shorter period of time for carbs to be digested for it to be processed?
I'm not sure.
I don't think it's that different. Like they might have a bit faster metabolism because they're more active and they have like good cardio health. But I like even growing up, like when I played in the GTHL, the Greater Toronto Hockey League, on my team they were like eat chicken and pasta or chicken and rice or some sort of light meat and carb heavy meal a couple hours before the game, like even as a kid. So I don't know how much it varies.
So why chicken then? Because let's say like a roast chicken or fried chicken compared to like a grilled chicken, it's going to be different.
Yeah, I think it like grilled chicken, I think like it's just, I don't know, I guess it has the right composition of protein and fats and stuff to give your body energy versus like a fried chicken has like probably too much fats.
But why not just boil every single chicken? I mean, you could like probably fry a chicken breast.
Some people might do that who live by themselves. Like I've heard stories of like people who go into professional sports and then they like move into an apartment like by themselves and then they like don't know how to cook. So the only things they eat are like, you know, chicken, like boiled chicken and rice. And they're like, yeah, my diet's really boring. Like I miss having this kind of food.
So, but then it's like now you talk about diet, but it's like, why don't just like every single athlete go for like the keto diet? That apparently that's like what, just carbs and shit. That's just what's a keto like? No carbs?
I think they cut out fat, which I don't think is healthy. But I don't know enough about it because I've heard really good things about it. But
yeah, so if it did just cut out that, why not just everybody go on the keto diet and they're all like athletes, superstars?
Well, I mean, part of it is talent and genetics and actual ability to play, right? I mean, for the average person, you can be good at sports, but these guys are in like the top 0.01% of their career.
Yeah, but eating
It's
is
not
already
just-
like eating's already half the battle. They're already talented in sports. Just start going on the keto diet.
well, it actually like undoes a lot of people when they don't eat well. Like I said, like Phil Kessel's an example. Obviously, he was an amazing talent, but he probably could have hit higher highs had he paid more attention to his nutrition. At least that's what I've heard.
Or paid.
I mean, I look at a guy like, I look at a guy like Gary Roberts, and he played till what, his late 30s?
He was like 40, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he was just like a human specimen in like fitness and preparation and like eating well. So I feel like it might not affect you on the day-to-day, but it'll affect you like over time more so. I don't know.
It's a long term play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So now that brings me to another question. So one of us is an expert in hockey, and the other one is an expert in basketball, and the third one is an expert in all things sports. So what's the difference between what a hockey player would eat and what a basketball player would eat?
That's a good question.
I think yeah.
Do you know like what NBA player? Like I only really know about hockey.
No, I mean, I'm not really sure what the diet is. I think it's, I think honestly though, the diet, because you're really trying to hit a specific amount of macronutrients, right, to be healthy. But I think the exercise is what's different because the movements are so different versus hockey and basketball. Like in hockey, you're trying to do more smaller explosive shifts, right, where you're going like a minute or two at a time. Versus basketball, you might play 45 minutes straight.
So theoretically, both athletes could eat the exact same thing. It's just the different exercise or different training that they do would differentiate them.
I think so. I think a large part of it too is not everybody's the same. So like you talked about LeBron paid $5 million a year for or whatever it was to have like a chef. yeah, like a lot of NHL, a lot of professional athletes. I know Tom Brady literally has a personal chef like his whole career. So I think it's like tailoring it to like your specific needs. So LeBron might not eat the same food that, you know, Tom Brady eats, or like Austin Matthew eats, or like, who's the guy from Game of Thrones, like the mountain? The guy who's like, you know, 8 foot tall and like 400 pounds of muscle. That guy probably eats an insane amount. I think bodybuilders
Jason
weight.
Momoa.
No, that's Aquaman, but he probably eats
Yeah,
a
he's
lot.
Aquaman. But like
and-
the people who do like the weightlifting and stuff like that, who get like really jacked, they literally have to wake up like every 2 hours and eat like 4 eggs and a bowl of rice to like keep their body weight up.
I saw what like a video of what a bodybuilder how a bodybuilder eats and what when they go to the supermarket and whatnot what they get, and it's like 5 times or at least what the average person eats.
Definitely.
Also, that LeBron
So this
article is from 2016, and it says he spends $1.5 million on his body, so for diet, workouts, and treatment. Let's look it up.
Okay. I mean, that's an investment in yourself, right?
Yeah.
So some of the best players do that. I know Morgan Riley, I think he has a chef during the season. I'm not sure, because he talks about cooking his own meals too in some podcasts. But I know some NHL players do it, and I'm sure they vary a little bit sport to sport, like you said. Kind of like there's different movements. There's probably different ways to prepare, like I guess lighter meals or heavier meals, depending on if you're a lineman in the NFL or a weightlifter versus a quarterback or a point guard, or you know, a goalie might even eat differently than like a defenseman. I don't know 100%.
But then there's like a lineman, but like a lineman is like you just eat like beef and like a heavier meal just so you're heavier and can't move.
Some of those guys are like really fit. Like I know they're huge, but they're still like really fit.
Well, you'd assume they're fit. They're playing in like the top sports league in the world. I mean, you'd assume they're fit. But
Yeah, I think we forget that there's 7 billion people on the earth, and there's like 800 hockey players or like 700 basketball players, or I mean football there's like 40, but even, you know,
Still
you're talking
pretty
like
small.
1,300 people out of you know, so these guys are like the absolute top tier athletes.
okay, yeah, they're top tier athletes. But let's say in hockey, one player decides like the top player has a specific meal, specific nutrition. Why not every single player just copy that, and you already have half the battle done. Next is just practice.
I mean, you have to also look at it like Mike and I and you could all eat the same thing and have completely different results because our bodies are just different.
I think some younger guys do copy older guys, or at least they learn kind of like what they do to like prepare and like what they eat and when they eat it, and it is definitely important.
I mean, in the age of Google, you don't even need to have a nutritionist or like a professional to cater your what you need. You can Google everything. You're good to go.
Well, I mean, true, but I mean, Mike or Hugo, even if you guys, when you started lifting weights and you said, okay, I'm gonna get jacked or whatever, and you look at how much protein should I eat, I'm sure the information that you got varied a lot.
Yeah, and then I said, no, screw that, because that's not me.
But that's what I mean, though. It's like I feel like there's a lot of bro science with this stuff. So it's kind of hard to know.
There is not a consensus on it, because like I have a minor in nutrition, and back when I was in university a couple of years ago, a lot of the studies around protein were conflicting. Sometimes I think you only need like 30 grams of protein, like post-workout, and maybe like 60 in a day, something like that. Whereas others were like, based on your body weight, you should be getting 2 grams of protein for every pound of muscle, or something like that. Like some were like, you need like 150 grams of protein, and others were like, oh, you're good with what, like, you know, 2 protein bars and then just your regular diet. So it's still not really like nobody's 100% sure yet. Having said that, all these teams, all these professional teams, I'm sure 99% of them have nutritionists to be like, hey, Tom Brady, here's what we recommend. Now, if Tom Brady wants to go out and hire somebody else, like, he has enough money to do that. But yeah, these teams like teach people how to eat well and what to eat and good, I guess, like baselines, and then I guess it's up to the athlete if they want to like personalize it more.
But if the nutrition information isn't accurate or isn't like set in stone yet, then why bother with the nutrition? Why bother with the nutrition in the first place? Because they're being paid lots of money to have accurate answers, to have the best answers possible for the athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So why bother with the inaccurate information?
Well, it's not completely inaccurate. Sorry, Nick, it's not completely inaccurate. It's just not, gravity is this rate of speed over this amount of time. Like, it varies person to person.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, like, it's not a one-size-fits-all, but it's directional, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And then I think if you get paid a ton of money, yeah, like, some players don't eat well. So I guess there's also, like, the personal drive. Like, I think in baseball, isn't that a big problem? You get, like, a lot of, like, really talented people who probably don't eat the best, who maybe can't run the bases as fast as the coach would like.
But admittedly, in baseball, there are quite a few people that are, chunky.
Oh yeah, well, you generate power, but then, yeah, that's the difference between, like, maybe being, like, one of the best hitters, like, you'd also be fit enough to run the bases, versus being maybe, like, middle of the pack. I guess there's, like, that personal drive to want to do everything perfectly, versus, I have enough talent, I can get by on my talent alone. I don't need to focus on, my nutrition.
I guess not. Like you said, the players that are chunkier, all they do is like hit one, do like one hit, and then they're assuming that they're gonna hit a home run every single bloody hit.
Like, who's the young guy on the Jays?
Guerrero Jr.
No, Vladdy?
Vladdy, yeah. He, like, apparently was told to try to get into better shape for this year because they think he can get better. Now, that's not saying he wasn't good. He had a rookie season that was, like, insane.
He was also stuck on Blue Jays.
Yeah, I mean, and he still had a rookie season. Like, do you see that home run derby? That was sick.
Yeah,
but he tired himself out because he went too hard, even though he hit more home runs. Anyways, the Jays said, like, hey man, you're really good. We think you can be, like, one of the greats. Here are, like, 4 things. One of them being nutrition and fitness, where, yeah, you could be like the best if you really, really try. So then it's up to him if he wants to, like, do that, or if he just wants to, go have a burger every Wednesday.
But then the other thing is, like, he's also on the Jays. I mean, the Raptors also tried the same thing with Caboclo, but look at how he turned out.
No, but those are different things. I mean,
I guess it's just based
like
based on motivation.
Well, no, I mean,
definitely can be.
Yeah, but also, like, Bruno didn't know how to play basketball until he was, like, the year before he was drafted.
Who's the guy? Was it David Ortiz? There's a guy in baseball who's, like, an amazing hitter, but, like, every year they're like, yeah, man, you should come back fitter. Also, another one is Dustin by Fuglian. I can never say his name.
Dustin Bufflin, yeah.
Dustin Bufflin, yeah. He's an amazing hockey player, but I think, like, in the beginning or middle of his career, his diet was, like, not good, so he wasn't as fast as he could be. And then he, like, started eating well, and, like, he just got so much better. He dropped, like, 10 pounds and became just, like, a god on defense.
So what happened to him now?
I think he's twisted his ankle and he wants to, like, stop playing hockey or something like that.
Okay, so
I don't know. It was like a long.
So the Leafs invested all that money, and it's like out of nowhere he twisted his ankle. It's like, oh shit! It's the curse of the Leafs, is what it is.
Well, he was on Atlanta, and then he went to Winnipeg.
Oh, even worse.
So, but, like, he probably doesn't want to live. He's like, it's too cold, man. My ankle hurts. But it's kind of a mystery. He's never really, like, said why he stopped. He got hurt, and then he just didn't want to come back. So I think they terminated his contract. So he's technically a free agent. So let's get him Toronto.
Agent, but he's injured though.
Yeah, but he might not play again. So.
Did you hear about how for NHL there's only going to be 2 hubs? One's like in Edmonton, the other one's in Toronto. Edmonton's like the west and Toronto's the east. And nobody wants to go to the States because, it's the States, let's be honest. You go to the States, you contract coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because
COVID.
the NBA is going to Orlando and Florida's having like record high cases every single day. So, I mean, the players are going to be safe, like probably the safest anybody's going to be.
Well, after the players are probably going to be the safest after like in Disneyland, but they can't leave Disneyland even when the pandemic's over because it's infected. It's now infected. They can't leave.
I heard there was like a lot of rumors going around that the NBA players aren't gonna a lot of them don't want to play because they're too worried that the cases are jumping. I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, I think that they don't want to play, but there's so much money that the league will lose.
Yeah. I heard the same thing in the NHL.
Yeah.
They don't want to play, but there's too much money and...
I think we talked about it a few times off.
Yeah.
But the advertising is all prepaid. So if they don't play a certain amount of games on TV, the advertisers can get their money back, and then obviously everyone loses money in that scenario. So.
So if there's no players that want to play if there are some players that don't want to play during the season, then the NBA and the NHL could just say, all right, then we just won't pay you. And there are plenty of other players on the team that will still play. They just have a worse off chance.
Yeah. There are going to be some players. I know in baseball, Ian Desmond, I think he's pretty good. I'm not very good with baseball teams, but he said he's just not playing because it doesn't work for his family. So I'm sure you'll hear about, hockey players are very,
Poor.
Not individuals. I don't know. They're very, very team-oriented. So I'd be very surprised if any hockey players sit out outside of maybe Max Domi, who has underlying his diabetes.
I think for NHL, they're going to be isolated in Canada, which the cases are a lot better. So I think they'll be much more willing to play in Canada. But
did you hear in Edmonton they're doing an Olympic Village style thing? I heard that was a proposal.
Same in Toronto, yeah.
Do you know where in Toronto they're doing it?
The CNE, the exhibition place.
Oh,
apparently
that's actually
there's a hotel
really cool.
there. There's OVO Center. There's the Marlies Ring.
Yeah.
They're gonna set up a movie theater. They're gonna have food trucks.
Are they playing?
But then they have to hire one more hotel because I think the hotel in the CNE is only 500 people. 500.
Are they playing at Rico?
I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be shuttled to Scotiabank, but Rico broadcasts games, so they might play. By the way, Rico Coliseum is where the affiliate team for the Leafs plays. Hugo?
The Marlies?
The Marlies.
Yeah.
I thought
It's
they
BMO
just
Field.
alternated.
They have that soccer field that's part of the complex as well, so they're gonna have access to that. But then in Edmonton, apparently they're legitimately building a wall around the arena, these hotels, and these restaurants.
Yeah, I heard they get premium access to the Rockies and all this kind of stuff. So it's cool, yeah.
What the hell's premium access to the Rockies?
I think it's private curated tours and that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
So a regular tour then?
No, but there's no public.
But for
and
free
more,
and on a day you don't have a game, you can me and the kids are gonna go hit up the Rockies.
So it's a free private tour.
Pretty much.
Well,
thank the heavens that they have a free private tour.
They're just trying to build as many amenities as they can, so
yeah.
Keep
well, think about if you were stuck on a I don't know. Could you guys live at the CNE for a month straight, or 2 months straight? What if you make it to the finals or the semifinals?
I
if
guess
there was nothing to do, you would literally go insane. If you had to play hockey and then go to your hotel room, you would.
Yeah.
You would not.
I guess for us it'd be different because we're from here. But if I was from some Wisconsin, I would not be having a good time.
all Kobe did was practice, and he didn't have any form of entertainment. All he did was practice, so I guess I probably wouldn't lose my mind if they all had the Mamba mentality and just practice
there's only
That's
one
true,
Kobe,
but
my
there's
friend.
like limits on how many people can practice and stuff like that, right? So you can't just practice all day either, because you have to share it with like 8 other teams.
And I think a lot of teams are shutting down their practice facilities as soon as somebody tests positive. So it's like another problem.
I really thought they were gonna everybody was just gonna play in the Scotiabank Arena for the job.
I don't know where they're playing, to be 100% on. Like they haven't really. It's not officially official yet.
I mean, you say they have BMO Field, but they're gonna play in the Ricoh Coliseum. But like,
BMO Field's the soccer field, just for like
That's where
entertainment
Toronto
purposes.
FC plays.
Yeah.
But what
And I think the Argos
they're not
play
gonna
too.
play soccer though. So
I mean, maybe a couple guys go out and kick the ball around. It's probably one of the safer like sports you can do right now.
well, I would think hockey's one of the safer sports. I mean, they already have a guard, a screen guard. They have a screen guard.
Yeah, but the thing with hockey is usually like you share water bottles, so I don't really know how that's gonna work. I think everybody's gonna have like their own labeled, and then hockey players and like baseball players like to spit.
Why do they share water bottle? That's just disgusting. They're rich. They don't need to share one water bottle.
It's just the sport. It's just the water bottles are chilling, and I'm just gonna grab the nearest water bottle and drink it. Like,
They're disgusting.
it is kind of gross.
They're disgusting is what they are.
Yeah.
Like,
That's how you all get the flu, like when you're in playing as a kid.
well, no, there's a difference because as a kid we're broke. That's why. But then these are professionals. They're making millions.
Not if you play in the GTHL. Like that's so expensive, man. It's crazy.
No,
Back to,
GTA HL. That's understandable. But you're sharing water bottle. But then as a pro, you should be sharing.
Back to the food though. Mike, have you been to? Yeah, I'm assuming you've been to Scotiabank a couple times, right, for a Leafs game. What did you think of the food at the arena?
Yo, so it's funny. They have like the base food, but then there's also like the TD. I don't know what it's called, but there's also like premium food, and then you have like the sweet food. I don't know, the main people food, like hot dogs and nachos and stuff, is kind of like eh. And then the one time I went with my friend, it was part of like the TD comfort zone. It's not called that, but you know what I mean. It's like kind of reserved for people who have tickets for the season or
the
buy
big
like a
ballers.
package.
Big baller.
Yeah, and you can like go and dude, they had roast beef and they're cutting it up and they're like, yeah, how many pieces do you want? It's like, bro, load me up.
This is better than my. This is better than my house.
Load me up, dude. Yo, hit me with one of those pretzels too. And then the sweet food was like really dope. I got to go one time as part of a work thing to see Connor McDavid play Canada versus Team Sweden for the juniors. That was sick. That was no, not Sweden. One of the lesser teams, Germany or Latvia or something. Anyways, the food up there is just like dope.
So you got like a proper full meal there. When you were.
I was like buffet style, but it was like really good buffet style. They had like potatoes. They had like pork chops, like seasoned pork chops, seasoned chicken breast. Like vegetables.
They got, like,
it was
wings and stuff.
crazy.
So is there a chance that you could get that exact same meal if you weren't in the box seats? In the premium seats?
No, man.
No. Not unless you want to like pay somebody a ton of money to go get it for you.
So there's
so it's not like it's
You
not
might
like
be
a,
able to order like chicken and stuff like that. I don't know.
So it's not like a stall where there's like it's a different
No,
grade of food.
every suite has its own. Well, when you rent a suite, like a box, you can choose to get a food option that's included, or like bring your own. So if you do the food option, then they make it for you, and it's like only available to your box or people in your box. The other one, the like big baller one, like the one who gets the special seats, I think you have to have like a wristband or something to get in there. Like it's only accessible by people in these certain seats. They have like literally security who is like, what seat are you guys? So no, if you get basic admin, like yeah, you're getting a hot dog. That's it.
So it's
Piece
like
of pizza.
So it's like movie foods like pizza, popcorn, chips.
Yeah,
cheese whiz.
exactly. Yeah, pretzels, nachos. Yeah.
Oh god.
Is it like that? I've never been to a Raptors game. Is it like that for the Raptors?
So I've never been in a box, unfortunately, but the food is the same as a Leafs game, like the, I guess, regular people stalls outside, right? So it's like they got like the pizza, chicken fingers, things like a burger place, like a taco place or whatever, and you're probably paying at least $11 before tax for an item.
Yeah.
And then the beer, like I think a tall boy is what, like $10-11.
Yo, it's nuts.
It's $11 for like a pint or like half a pint?
No, a tall boy.
Like a
man.
tall
Oh,
can.
a tall. Oh god.
So what is that, like 450 milliliters?
Actually, at Leafs games, isn't it? They give you a glass with a lid. I thought like Jays games, it's beers, isn't it?
They give
I
you
think
like a
you can-
can. They don't give you a bloody glass.
Can you pick?
I think you pick.
Because I remember a few arenas, like I would get like the plastic cup and I get like the 32 ounce, or you guys like, yo, $16, whatever. This will hold me over for like 2 periods.
Yeah, I think it
Like a
depends on
giant
what
sippy
the.
cup.
You know, in Jays games, you can actually bring in your own food.
Really?
Yeah, so.
I think it's you quote unquote can bring
No,
it.
no, no,
Like,
no.
you should be
It's
able to.
no. It's policy, so you can bring in your own food. This guy don't. Or I
Really?
guess Rogers Center. Yeah, for Jays games, you just can't bring alcohol.
Oh,
That's
If
cool.
you're-
I didn't know that.
If you remember when we went with Brian a few years back,
yeah.
remember I had all my pizza wrapped up and I brought it in.
Oh, I thought we scarfed that down before we got in.
No, because it's a lot cheaper. You can like bring in like a burrito bowl. There's a guy on Twitter that brought in a charcuterie board.
Imagine going through security with that.
Yeah, I mean they obviously check everything, so you have to have like everything bagged or in a container, right? But like, yeah, the guy like bagged all the meat and the cheese, and he brought a board like I'm doing charcuterie at the J.
Yo, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Is the arena foods like, let's say, would you say it's better than like street food, like, or does like the hot dog stands outside?
Good question. I don't know. I always like the hot dog stands outside, but I try not to eat because it's just so expensive. Like I'll buy beer, but like the food is just crazy expensive.
Could you not like bring, let's say, high beer as an iced tea and like, oh, this is iced tea, I'm bringing that.
No, you can't bring any drinks in.
You can't bring any drinks in. I don't even
Cause-
think water.
When you like go before you scan your ticket in, they check your bags and they metal detector you and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have like any semblance of a drink or whatever, they like throw it out right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I did know that.
I don't know what. I went to a CFL game with the Argos at BMO Field. I don't remember seeing like I think they only had like the basic level of food. I mean, they had some different options. It wasn't all hot dogs and pizza. I think you could get like a poutine, or like they had like custom hot dogs you could get. That was kind of cool. They tried to like make it more like diversified, so they had wider variety of food. But I don't remember there being any kind of like boxes that had their own food, or like quote like premium food or premium tickets. But I would just have like basic like general admin tickets.
I've never been to a CFL game, but I've heard they get pretty rowdy. I think beer is cheaper
It's okay.
too, right?
It was cool because of what the time we went, they actually had just allowed like quote tailgating. It wasn't really like American style tailgating. It was like beside the arena, they had a fenced off area kind of in a little park, like parking lot area. And then yeah, I mean, it was definitely cheaper than a Leafs game and like a Jays game.
For good
I
reason,
think it
because
was-
apparently the tickets are like $1 million for the tickets.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was like $4 for a tall can, and you get like a hot dog for like $3.50 or something. It was pretty cool. They had like a band and stuff.
$4 for a tall can at the CFL. Understandable. How much is it, like $15 for a tall can?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's not exaggerating. If you get like a Stella or something, it's almost $15.
It's crazy.
so what's a regular, like a domestic beer, like 14?
If you get like a Coors Light tall boy, it's like $12, $11.
And tall glass of water is what, $13?
No, water is free, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they
prices-
legally have to give you tap water for free.
Yeah. Bottled water is crazy expensive, but yeah, you can ask for tap water.
They're both the same thing at this point in time. And
Is there any other topics you go that you wanna?
no, really, it's just general conversation, and then it's just whatever sports and food related stuff to talk about.
I'm just trying to think. Is there anything else related?
You were like, I wonder what other sports are like tennis or like cricket or like ping pong or like swimming. I wonder if they have food stuff there.
Yeah, that's a good call because or like golf because you're standing the whole time too. I don't know.
I
man.
imagine they would. Maybe like they roll up some food trucks or like I mean, there's no way you're gonna be watching a guy play on like hole 9 and you gotta walk back like 6K to get a beer. That doesn't make sense.
When I worked on the golf course, golf resort at one time, they had stalls, I suppose, or stands halfway or like a quarter way through the course, and then you still got to buy like the miscellaneous junk food, the chips and beer and nachos and whatnot. But it's not like a proper meal.
Yeah, I feel like most arena stadium kind of food is more like hot dogs, nachos, beer, kind of junk food, lazy food. Yeah. But I wonder, like in Premier League or anything like that, like you can probably go get food. You have to be able to go get food, right? They have arenas like we have.
I imagine like Premier League where they have like people running about with a hot dog in the tray in front of them. It's like get your hot dogs here and get your beer here, and then you raise your hand and then throw you a hot dog.
True. Okay.
I imagine that's what it is like on TV.
Probably.
I don't know if they do that here in Canada, or even in the Rogers Center or even this baseball stadiums where.
Well, the funniest is like tailgating, like American football. You just go around, people are just having barbecues. People just bring coolers. Like, that's where you get all your food. I guess you eat pregame, have a little party,
do they not
watch the game.
Oh, so they don't bring it in?
No, they don't bring it like parking lot.
Okay.
It's like a big thing. Just chill in the parking lot, set up a portable barbecue. You can probably go around. I think people sell food as well. I've never been, but Andrew went to a Buffalo game and he was like, it's a different experience.
One of my friends lives in Dallas, and she was telling me that, or not in Dallas, but in Texas, and she was telling me that Dallas, the Cowboys, people just buy tailgate spots, and they just bring a TV to watch the game. Like they don't ever go in the stadium; they just get hammered in the parking lot, and they just watch the game with their trucks. Yeah, it's cool.
Wait, so they buy a parking spot to get drunk?
Well, like other people are there because it's like a party, right? Like we don't really have that culture here, but it's pretty cool.
They're willing to buy a parking spot to get drunk.
Yeah, and watch the game with other people.
Yeah, to watch the game with like friends and stuff too. It'd be like if we reserved a spot and then we're like, let's go chill in the parking lot to like watch the.
It's
you're
like
kind of part of the atmosphere. You might not be like in the stadium, but like when everybody leaves and stuff, like it's pretty hype. I think.
That's just.
Well, I mean, like, you think about Jurassic Park, people line up to watch the game outside, but it's really fun when you're there.
I get with Jurassic Park, you line up to go inside, it's fun, it's like the atmosphere, you get to see the game. But these people are paying to line up outside.
I would
not even line up.
I would argue though, lining up for 6 hours to watch a basketball game is not a good use of your time.
But it's also historic.
I mean, at that point, you're kind of paying for it, right? Because like if you have to take a day off work to go line up to watch the game that night, like how much do you make per hour times 6 hours? Like you paid for it.
Yeah, I've been once, man. It's a lot of fun.
In their defense, when they lined up to go to Jurassic Park, that was part of history because Toronto ended up winning.
It's true.
Yeah, but all the years.
When I went to watch the Leafs game, it was just for sadness and heartbreak.
Did you go for Game 7, Mike?
No, I went for Game 4, right? I think Game 3 or Game 4.
Of the one that just happened, right?
Yeah, when we won. I'm pretty sure Matthews came back. They came back super hard.
Because they were up 3-2, so I think they did win that game.
Or I went to a couple. I went to another one where we were getting smashed. Everyone's like, "Hey, let's leave." So we left. I went to a local bar. I don't know if it was Game 3. We went to a local bar and we turned on the TV and we're like, holy smokes, they tied it. Like, it was like 4-1 or something. I'd have to look up the score, but I remember it being really bad. And everyone's like, oh, this is lame. It might have been last year even too. And then, yeah, we went to a bar. We're like, oh, this kind of sucks. Like, you know, we can't go to the bathroom. Apparently, there was someone had done something, so all the bathrooms got shut down. We really needed to go. So yeah, we went to a local bar. We turned it on. We're like, what the?
Speaking of bars, sports food and stuff, we went to a few bars a couple times during the championship run, and we had to line up maybe 2 hours early. And are you a fan of bar food when you watch sports, or would you rather eat like a proper meal?
If I'm in a restaurant or if I'm in a bar or whatnot, I just give me a proper meal and then let me drink beer afterwards and be drunk with that after.
Oh yeah, like so you'll order like a pasta dish or like a salad or something?
Yeah, if I'm in a restaurant, I'm eating. I don't know. It's just I don't, because being in the restaurant industry, I'm not a fan of just having bar food, I suppose. Like if I have that as like an appetizer or as a side as well, then sure, I guess. But if I'm sitting down and eating, I want my actual meal.
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, me too.
The reason being, like when I'm at home watching the game, I'll have a real meal. You know, I'm at home, I can cook pre-game, I can cook during intermission. Game's kind of boring, maybe I'll make something real quick. Unless it's playoffs, obviously, that you plan ahead. But yeah, I can have a real meal, right? When I go to the bar, like, oh, dude, hit me up with the wings, hit me up with the flatbreads, pizza.
Get the nachos going.
Yeah, nacho. Always gotta get nachos. You know, cheesy bread, whatever it is, calamari, like just hit me up with all the apps.
Why just the apps? The apps are there to
There's
stimulate
just
your
something
appetite.
about it,
Something
man.
to, like,
There's just
snack
something
on.
about it.
No, like I'm down to just eat and then be drunk off that while watching the game. But I don't know. I don't think I could just have abs only. It's just it's not in me to just have abs only.
Did you guys go to a bar for Game 6 of the Raps, like when we won it all?
We went.
I was at a bar for
semi-finals or something.
I was at a bar for Game 6 of the Bucks when we won the game to go to the final. That was awesome. And then me and Hugo with a few other people. I think we went for Game 3 to Three Brewers.
Yeah.
Me and Andrew do a thing where when the Leafs are playing, we usually go to each other's house. I mean, they always lose in the first round. So if it's first round, like I don't mind going to like a game or two. For the Raptors though, I went out a lot, and I was actually in a bar for Game 6. Holy hell, dude!
Packed.
It was unreal. It was so cool. Like wings, beer. There was just times where it was just like dead quiet. Everyone's watching. Oh no, they're catching up. Oh, it's getting so close. I think I went for Game 5 because we lost Game 5, right?
Yeah, that was when Lowry got blocked at the end.
Yeah, so like it was dead quiet. Everybody left. They were so sad. Game 6 just exploded, and this was like a bar like right beside downtown Mississauga. Oh my god, man! Walking home, it was pandemonium. It was so cool.
Yeah, driving after it's just
so
horrible. It's packed.
The second we won, we walked right down to Dundas Square, and it was like one of the greatest experiences of my life.
But being in the bar environment for that, like being around people,
It's
just like,
really cool. It's really
so
cool.
much fun to be part of the moment.
Even I have to admit
Maple
that
Leaf
was
Square.
Because you feel the energy, right? Like you feel the energy of the people.
And you feel it so much more like, I feel like it's much more like intensified. Because it's like when there's a bad moment, like everybody's like, oh no, like foul, or like
I think during game
whatever,
3,
penalty.
I think during Game 3, I chanted USA. I did the
Someone
USA
threw
chant.
something at you.
And I think everybody started looking at me, and I think they wanted to kill me.
Yeah. Sports
I think
fans are intense.
I think too, people don't realize how big sports affect restaurant takings. Like when the Raptors run, right? Usually they'd end maybe beginning of May, like they'd win a round or two and it'd be over. But when this is prolonging until the end of June almost, I mean that's like every place is packed. Like every bar was packed.
Well, that's the other funny part, right? Because then there's a bunch of people who like aren't really into sports who are like, let's go on a date. It's a Friday night, and then they go to the bar and they're like, why is it a 6-hour wait? goes, dude, the Raps are on, the Leafs are on, you know, X, Y, or Z is on. Like, what do you mean? And then there's just like, oh, snap, okay.
There are times when I was working where we do have a TV and then we play the game during the Raptor playoffs, right? And then we do notice where the days are slower and like we don't have as much business because the Raptors or the Leafs were not playing during the playoff times. And then so it's like, okay, we were able to adjust our adjust our closing times and adjust when people could go home because we knew what the speed was like and whether people were coming in. But then when the games were on, it's like, okay, nobody's going home. We have to stay.
Yeah, definitely. When I was in the restaurant industry as well, in the kitchen, yeah, Jack Astor's and Buffalo Wild Wings was like, yeah, if there's a Raps game on, like you were there till close. Like, or in Guelph, it was like the Guelph Storm. If they won, they had like a promotion with the restaurant. So if they got like X amount of goals, you got free wings. So everybody showed up like after the game. It was like, dude, it's 11 o'clock at night. You want 5 free wings? Are you kidding me? Go home. It's a Tuesday. But yeah, I know what you mean for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, we ran out of time. We won't be able to talk about the surge in the number of chefs due to the quarantine. Tune in next week when we talk about chicken soup for the soul. Wait, I'm being told by our producers that chicken soup for the soul is trademarked. And we'll talk about something else. Please like and subscribe and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.